Grand Rising. Let's get back to these prices, y'all. All right. It's man, the volatility is so real right now. These swings it have you, second guessing yourself. But let's start with Tesla, of course. I think we're gonna see a little more downtrend for the rest of this month, and then we might get a good turnaround. But let's start at the 4 hours. According to the weekly, if we was to close today below the open, if we can close below the open, that also means next week we should see some more downtrend. Right, the monthly is it's a little harder to detect. According to the daily, of course, we see a major gap, and that's literally at the Fibonacci level, which is the 38% extension, and that's 395, right? So we break it down to the 4 hours. We got a major gap between the 50 and the 144 on the downside. So according to the strip indicators, it seemed like it would have come down some more. All right, so we'll break it down a little more. We go to the 2 hours. Look, we bounced off the 144. Wow, it went all the way down to 415. Now, according to your pumps back up, you have 332, 331. And according to the 200 moving average, is at 398. And that's on the 2 hours. Now, the strength indicator does look like it's trying to gain momentum to go back up, be honest with you. But according to the RSI, we at the 50%. We get any little drop, this thing can come down back to that, 418, and then the 498. But if we go to the 1 hours, we passed all moving averages. But the way how this thing snapped back in position is crazy. But I think that was just a dead cat bounce, y'all. This thing is ready to go down to that 395. That's Tesla. I'm going to leave it at that. Let's go Oracle. Oracle is another one. Now, the other day, Tesla had went to 449 during that pre-market. I'm sorry, that was really the overnight market, but it was after closing. After closing the other day, and opened yesterday lower. So now Oracle just got some good news as far as TikTok. These companies just controlling data. That's all it really is. But Oracle had some good news. They wind up shooting like 1.5%, 2% in the aftermarket. And these guys is back in the negative. And then they also went below that 288. So this thing can get ugly. This one can go to 270. Why I'm saying that? Look at we got the 274.88. That's the 21 moving average on the daily. And the way this is forming, it look like it's possible. But not only that, that's possible. It's look like it's possible. We can still go down more than that 274, 275. So just look at just these first levels I'm calling out and see how we close and open up tomorrow. That will determine, not tomorrow, but Monday. It will determine, how next week should play out. All depends how we close out today. Let's get to Planeteer real quick. See, now look, Planeteer is at the same price as NVDA. So all these red dots here, look at this. What you think is going to happen next? We should hit these moving averages. So the 21 and the 50-day moving average, 50 days at 165. The 21 is at 166. So we should get a good bounce off the 161% on the Fibonacci extension. So that's for Planeteer. We don't have to keep going any further. It's total downtrend, guys. This should be a nice pullback for the second rally. So like I was saying with NVIDIA, same difference. According to these weekly and daily, we need a pullback so we can start this next rally. A lot of people calling out 200. That's realistic. It can happen before next spring. So you see this daily, the strength is not there. And then the 21 moving average look like it want to go down some more. Right? This is on the daily time frame again. And like I said, the strength indicators seem like we want to lose whatever grip we have here. On the 4 hours, the same thing. So it's look like it's ready to get ugly, y'all. Far as NVIDIA, we should have a weekly correction, so that should be 160, y'all. We should at least get a $10 correction. Now, it was a video a few days ago I had placed in my trading group. It's like I seen that hard drop early. I even mentioned inside the video that blood should be on his way. It was getting a lot of bounces. It'll drop and bounce right back from where it started. So we got AMD. See, now AMD's back at this 159, 158. But according to their weekly moving average is at 144. On the monthly, we got 145. So, and according to the strength here, it don't seem like it's going to go any higher. So, I think according to this monthly candle, it's open at 158. That moment we lose that 158 today, it's going to go back and it might pass that 149. It's a possibility we can pass the 149, but I'm not going to overdo it. We just want to see the 158 get broken first. And then we got a nice long drop, y'all. That's for AMD. We're going to throw Lamb research in there. These guys is very bullish, but should get a nice pullback with them too. More squeeze alert on the higher time frames, but once we start at the 4 hours, look like we're going to start getting the pullback. And if we was to totally correct on a 4 hour time frame, The 200 moving average is 109. Just round it off to 110. We go to the 2 hours. 2 hours can pump back to the 129, which is the 50-day moving average, or we can lose grip and get a total correction and bounce off the 200, and that's at 118. Go to the 1 hours. We look like it's going straight down, y'all. I kid you not. And once that 50 crossed the 200, it's a good chance this thing will go back to 110. Last but not least, well, we're gonna do super micro, then SQQ. We're gonna end it off with SQQ. Now, according to what I was saying yesterday, we didn't quite touch the 21, but we got real close and sprung right back up, and that's because of the daily strength indications. That's all because of this daily has a little strength behind it. Now, when you go to the weekly, it's some sense too. But the only thing with the weekly that you got to really put in consideration, even though it looked like it's ready to curl up, the 21 is still, the MACD line is still under the signal line on the MACD. So you see the blue line, when it crossed the yellow line, that's still bearish signal. Now, according to the RSI, we hanging on in the middle. But the daily, it does look strong for some sort of continuation. But once we get to the 4 hours, this is where it looks shaky. So I think this is when we're going to bounce off the 200 here, and that is 43. 43.90 to be exact, and 144 is 43.90 also. We go down to the 2 hours, we have 44.64. The last low was 44.20. So last but not least, SQQQ looking pretty solid on the upside, guys. Now, go to the daily real quick. Even though it's a red candle, just still went up 1.5%, very close to. It actually overdid yesterday's high, or very close to. But now we're looking at the strength indicators. It looks like we want to at least get to this, maybe to the 21 moving average on the daily. That's 1648. But now let's break it down. We go to the 4 hours. What we have on is 200, 1678. And what we have on 144, 1646. Go back to the daily, 1648. It's the 21 moving average. So we got 1646, 144. We got 1607 on the 2 hours as far as the 200 moving average. And we passed all the moving averages going upward on the 1 hour. The only thing is we should be looking for some bounces. Now, according to a bounce, we could get a bounce off the 50, which is 1564, or the 200. But according to the Golden Cross, this thing, it want to go back to 16 one more time. It want to retest. And we had a 1613 as far as the previous high. So look for this thing to go to either 1650 or maybe even reject this 1607 one last time. But we got to be careful because the market is definitely It's going to show a lot of volatility. It's going to seem like we're going to go back up, and those last lower them last excuse me the last lower highs or lower lows, you should be seeing these type of patterns maybe until this month is up. With that being said, guys, I'll see y'all in the next video. Like and subscribe on YouTube. It would be very appreciated. Also, if you want some sort of coaching, I'm only doing one-on-ones right now. It will be a fee. You will have to DM me on Facebook or Instagram. With that being said, guys, let's see if we get a good pullback. This is a great time to set up some long plays, but you got to be patient. Allow it to finish dropping. You want to keep your eyes on a higher time frame so you can understand those possibility of harder drops or a reversal. So guys, again, like, follow, and subscribe. Peace. I get you guys in the next video.